Hey, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
You're welcome to our public to be discussing seriously on insurance, everything about insurance and what it has to do with us as engineers. And we have a special guest here, representative of a well-known insurance. But before we go ahead, we'll start with our opening prayer. So we'll all take this prayer together. Want to really go?
O
Oh God
God
of all
of all creation,
creation,
grant
grant this
this our one request.
request. Help
Help
us
us to build a
to build a
nation
nation
where no
where
man
no man
is
oppressed,
oppressed,
and
and
so
so
with
with
peace
peace
and
and
plenty,
plenty,
Nigeria
Nigeria may be
will
blessed.
be blessed.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, everyone, for that prayer. So we'll quickly go on to the next item, which is the opening speech by the chairman, ACIIN Port Harcourt chapter, in the person of Dr. Engineer Ibie Amafabia Derefa. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Vice Ma. And good evening, everyone on this call. Thank you for joining us for this November public lecture, which is titled Insurance and the Engineer, the NIIRA 2025 Perspective. NIIRA stands for Nigerian Insurance Industry Act Reform Act 2025. And I want to appreciate our guest speaker, Pastor Busunute Kingnana Harry, who was very happy to have us for this on this journey of enlightening us on this Reform Act. So once we approached him, he consented to making this presentation. And the idea behind the presentation is drawn from the fact that not many of us are aware that there is such acts. There's a tax act that is all over the place, but I don't know if I have seen anyone talk about the Reform Act. And from conversations earlier, I think I heard some things that sounded like from next year, certain insurance policies are going to be compulsory for the general public. So that was what prompted this lecture, So we reached out to the expert we knew. He agreed to take the lecture on. And so we will sit back and relax and learn about the things that we are supposed to be doing insurance-wise starting next year, especially for us as engineers who in our day-to-day activities are faced with risks. So that's why this lecture topic is very apt. And I want to encourage us to keep our writing materials beside us, take notes, and ask a lot of questions, because I know insurance is a very controversial topic. I also have my own piece of questions to ask at the appropriate time. So on that note, again, I want to welcome us and not take too much of our time because the time is for our speaker. Have a fruitful session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our esteemed chairman, in the person of Engineer Dr. Ibie Amafabia. So without wasting much time, we're going to take the citation of our esteemed speaker. Sir, if you can switch on your camera, if you can. If not, no problem. So I'll go ahead and say the citation. Pastor Busunute Kingnana Harry, ACIIN, a seasoned, passionate, and committed professional insurer, nicknamed the Insurance Bishop of Nigeria, was born on the 15th of April, 1979. He holds a higher national diploma, HND, in insurance and risk management from Rivers State Polytechnic, now Ken Saro-Wiwa Polytechnic, Bori, and Actuarial Saro-Wiwa was Harcourt. Pastor Harry started now Custodian Insurance Limited. In 2008, as a sales agent, he joined Aiico Insurance Plc as underwriting officer after 3 months with Crusader Insurance. His love for growth and continued knowledge and understanding of the industry motivated him to leave Aiico Insurance for Regency Insurance Plc as marketing business development officer, where he performed excellently over time and grew to the post of a manager in 2014. He served as a branch manager, Owerri, business development manager, Port Harcourt region, and Warri branch manager, all in Regency Alliance Insurance PLC within 2014 to 2025. His desire for excellent service delivery and creating remarkable customers' delight in insurance products consumption led him to Fin Insurance Company Limited as Port Harcourt branch manager in June 2025. Busunute Harry, a Christian and a servant of the vineyard of God, is married with 3 lovely kids. So let's make welcome Pastor Busunute K. Harry, ACIIN, Manager, Fin Insurance Company Limited. The floor is yours, sir.
Wow. Thank you very much for that wonderful recitation. Wow, I'm totally overwhelmed. And I'm happy, very, very happy to be in your midst today. I'm happy that we are taking this journey because it's a journey that we never regret. Even myself as an insurer and you, the engineers, you will forever remain grateful, and I will forever remain grateful for this journey. So let's go to the business of the day, which is very, very important for us. I would love to off my camera because I think that will enable us to share the screen properly. So permission to off my camera.
I think you can go ahead.
Thank you. As the topic says, insurance and personal. I want to go to an overview of what NIIRA is all about. Before this era, insurance industry lost its confidence, and the insurance public also are not confident enough to come bring their business to be insured. Yes, most people will tell you insurance in Nigeria is not working. Most people will tell you insurance is a fraud. So it became a problem that made government to come up with a law, and it was enacted August 2025, and it will be effective from January 2026. So that is the law NIIRA 2025. Now, quickly, what insurance is not? Because before we start anything, I think we have some mindsets out there that people have and have built over time as regards to insurance. Now, a lot of people see insurance as gamble, but insurance is not gamble. It's never gamble. A lot of people see insurance as Ponzi scheme. Insurance is not a Ponzi scheme. Some people see it as a bet. Insurance is not a bet. Most people also see it as lottery, where you can put money and you win bigger money. No, insurance is not a lottery. Neither is insurance any get-rich-quick mechanism. You are not going to be rich. You are not going to be rich at all. If you think insurance will make you rich, we are joking. So insurance is not a mechanism for get-rich-quick. Yeah. So what then is insurance? You ask yourself the question, if all these things are not insurance, then what is insurance? That takes us to our next slide, the insurance I know. What then is insurance? If you ask yourself the question, a lot of people are saying insurance. What is insurance? I personally define insurance in one of my write-up, and I looked at it that, I look at the things insurance gets to do in our life. And I came up with this definition. I said insurance is a consciously designed risk transfer mechanism. It is consciously designed for the transfer of risk. And it is designed with principle to create a balance at the event of a future occurrence that will create a huge financial loss. That is to say, there must be a future imbalance caused by a future occurrence that will create a huge financial loss before insurance will come into play. So it is a designed mechanism with principle created to balance the affair of someone at the event of a loss in the future. That is my definition for insurance, and from my basic knowledge of insurance, that is my definition. But the most accepted definition of insurance is it is a contract between two parties, the insurer and the insured, of which the insured transfer their risk, the risk of future occurrence that will create a huge financial loss, to the insurer, who agrees to indemnify. Indemnify simply means position back. Who agrees to position them back? It's just like a balance, creating a balance. Position them back to the place they were in consideration of a token paid called the premium against the future occurrence. That is to say, individual making provision for himself against a future loss that will affect him financially, because one of the principles is the cause must create a financial loss for the person before insurance company will set in. Take a look at a situation where a breadwinner of a family is lost in an accident or natural death. That breadwinner will cease to pay or will cease to cater for his family because he is no more or she is no more. And it will create a financial loss for the family. But if there is an insurance policy in place for that reason, death, at that particular time, insurance company will come up and take that responsibility of that person. So it becomes a financial solution for the family, though the loss, the death, or the person cannot be resuscitated. It can never be brought back to life. But that which he used to do, the financial implication, the financial commitment will continue without being noticed. And that is just for the aspect of life. We have the aspect of a motor vehicle. Someone struggling to buy a motor vehicle of 20 to 30 million or 10 million even. And at the event, we know motor vehicles is either will be accidented or will be stolen or will not be stolen. You will use it and enjoy the vehicle. but it is under probability that you will enjoy it for the period, you will lose it to theft, or you will lose it to accident, or there will be something that may happen along the way. Those are the possibilities. So as a owner, getting a vehicle, you insure it, and if you insure it, at the event of the other three happening, the insurance company will come to your rescue to ensure that your vehicle is provided. You are being provided, you are being positioned back to the level of what you used to be, a car owner, if anything happens. So that is what insurance is all about. That is why the Westerners, those that brought insurance to the system, that is what they envisage and that is what they see before they introduce insurance in our businesses and in our life. So that is insurance. Its position is a future provision made for any eventuality that will befall someone in the future. That is all about insurance. So let's go to the next slide. Who is an engineer? Who is an engineer? I know I'm speaking to professional engineers. So whatever you see here, I am not a professional engineer. So whatever you see here, please forgive me if I am wrong. Take it like that, because it's an insurance person that is putting up this write-up. So please take it the way you see it if I'm wrong. So I will not dwell much on this page. An engineer is a professional who applies scientific principle, mathematics, and creativity to design, build, and maintain systems, structures, machines, and technologies that solve real-world problems. In simple terms, an engineer takes idea and turn it into practical solution that make life easier, safer, and more efficient. Types of engineer, I know the types are all represented here. Most of the types are represented here. We know the civil engineers, they design and build road, bridge, building, and infrastructures. The mechanical engineers work with machine, engine, and manufacturing system. The electrical engineers focus on power, electronics, and communication system. Chemical engineers deal with chemical processes for making materials, fuel, and product. Soft engineers, environmental engineers. But one basic thing I want to bring out from this page is that everything that the engineer is doing is a risk. As it has been displayed here, all the things that the engineer, the profession of engineer, is all about risk. Is totally enfolded with risk. So I want to quote that engineering without insurance is like a bridge without pillars. It's like a bridge without pillars. Risk without protection is like a risk without protection. And that what helmet is to site is what insurance is to project. And project is all about engineering. So we should take note of this. Now, why should engineer care about insurance? Why should I care about insurance? Sorry, why should you, an engineer, care about insurance? Engineers should care about insurance because it protects their work. It protects their reputation. It protects their finance. It protects their professional future. Yes. When the engineer is carrying out a work, for instance, the civil engineers, what happened in GRA about 3 years backward? Yeah, a 8-story building collapsed and even killed a lot of people. Now, that work, the work, if insured by our policy called contractors all risk, I think that work alone can be revived. Up to now, they've not started the building because money has been lost. Hence, it has not started again. 2, reputation. The engineer's reputation is already shaky because a lot of people will say, how will that engineer who built that building that collapsed? They will say it's one engineer. That engineer is not they will say it's not an engineer. It's a fake engineer. So reputation is lost. Finances on that project that was sunk during the building, they don't, is waste totally out, then the professional future of that engineer is under question, serious scrutiny, because nobody will want to give him jobs to carry out. And that is how it is applicable to every other aspect of engineers. For instance, somebody carrying out a gas plant, a chemical engineer that is involved in a risk and something similar happened without insurance, even if it is insurance, yes, insurance will try to bring back the project, but without insurance, it will be very, very cumbersome for him to bring back that project. So that engineer reputation is lost totally. So engineering projects often involve high risk, and insurance provides a safety net when things go wrong. Very, very important. Insurance is a safety net. We call it the buffer stock, the Dunlop stock, the Dunlop that you fall on while you are falling. So it's very, very important for engineers. Now, having said that, one of the reasons why engineers care about insurance is because engineering involves risk. We define the basics of the definition of insurance is risk. It's a risk transfer mechanism, and engineering involves risk. So you can see that generally engineers are exposed to so many risks, and how will they transfer that risk is through insurance. You can't do without risk as an engineer, but transferring it is an aspect of managing the risk. You transfer the risk to a professional that manages that risk for you, and that is insurance. Now, engineering projects deal with design, structure, machines, and people safety. If a building collapses, a machine fails, or a design causes injury or damage, the insurance is there to take up responsibility for it. The engineer could be held responsible even if the error wasn't intentional. So engineer needs insurance seriously because of risk. They are involved in risk. The totality of their work is risk. So it is very, very important. I want to continue with that question. Why insurance for engineers? 2, insurance protects against liability. Liability is something that you are liable for, whether known or unknown, whether directly or indirectly. Once it is your liability, you are responsible for it. And there is one aspect of liability we call the vicarious liability. The vicarious liability is somebody that is working for you, that created a liability for you, a responsibility for you that warrants you to be held responsible. It is vicarious liability. So whether directly or indirectly, where you are designed, maybe a civil engineer, whatever, or electrical, whatever, but you are not directly responsible for the risk, the liability, because for you must be held responsible. So insurance protects against liability, directly or indirectly, whether you are involved for professional negligence or error through the insurance called professional indemnity. Second, damage to third-party property or injuries in your project site, in your work site, in your factory, anywhere that you are involved. If something happens, there is a cover for you, insurance cover for you. It is called the public liability insurance. When there is an accident on your work site, there is a policy for you called the contractors or risk or workmen compensation insurance. All those things are designed to cover the engineer. This protection allows engineer to focus on innovation without constant fear of financial ruin. When you have insurance policy on ground and you know they cover all these aspects of your operation, you will see that you have no fear and you have confidence to carry out projects that others will not want to do. You will want to carry it out because you have policies on ground that cover you against risk. So you will not be afraid of financial ruin. Third, it safeguard projects. Insurance safeguard project, and project is engineer. If I'm just as the helmet is to sight. project is engineer, because every engineer must carry out project or will be involved in one project or another. So it safeguards your project. Engineering project require huge investment in material, equipment, and in manpower. Insurance ensure that damaged material can be replaced without wasting time. Those damaged materials are replaced. Then construction delays are compensated. In a situation where there are construction delay due to one issue or another, there will be loss of fund, there will be loss of time. Loss of fund will be compensated, and it will cover for loss of time. So insurance safeguard you against those things. Then finally, on this, we have project completion is guaranteed. No matter what happens along the line, your project completion is guaranteed because you have a performance bond, which is an insurance contract, insurance policy, or contractors all risk insurance. Those things cover you in terms of delay, in terms of issues that will come up that will disrupt your project. All this performance bond or contractors or risk insurance covers you against it. So that is it for the reason why the engineer needs insurance. Now quickly, let's go to our law, the law that we need to know. The law, which is Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act 2025. Why we look at the projects, engineering projects as huge, our insurance industry capacity is very low before now. Most times, insurance companies seek capacity outside the country to ensure they get capacity to cover for the risk, engineering risk. Then in 2020, thereabout 2020 or 2018, 2019, there was this law called the Local Content Law that every of all our contracts, all our businesses that are within Nigeria should be insured by Nigerian insurance companies. And there is no capacity for them. We have bigger risk from the oil industry, international oil companies, and the insurance companies don't have the capacity to carry those risks. So the government looked at it, and that is bringing low confidence from the insurance public, low confidence from the people that are patronizing the insurance company, and it created a lot of problem. Even individuals became weary of insurance. So the government looked at the whole thing and said, okay, let's come up with recapitalization and some other thing so that it can help the insurance industry. And that is where the NIIRA 2025 was born. And it covers a lot of areas. As I've said earlier, the meaning is Nigerian Industry Reform Act 2025. The aim is to modernize the insurance landscape in line with global standard. Just like what I said earlier, Nigerians are looking for capacity to help them within Nigeria. So government said, no, you don't do that again. Grow your capacity and cover the insurance within Nigeria. So our government now insisted the insurance company should recapitalize by certain amount of money. For general insurance, they said 10 billion. For life insurance, they said 15 billion. So every insurance company that operates in Nigeria from January, we have 15 billion set aside to cover for their risk. And for general insurance, and 15 billion set aside for life insurance companies. So that taking, you now move us to the core pillars of the Act. Core pillar of the Act, one is digital integration. While you recapitalize, you should also go into digital system. You are not going to do this paperwork again. Everything should be digitalized in our industry, the insurance industry, and transparency. Then mandatory sector specific coverage. That is to say, there are some insurance that are mandatory for each person, each particular person. Insurance that are compulsory for engineers, insurance that are compulsory for bankers, insurance that are compulsory for oil and gas, different insurances that are compulsory for different set of people. Then it strengthened claims reinforcement. You know, before there, because of lack of capacity, insurance company cannot pay claim on time. They some don't even pay claims. But now, because of the capacity building, insurance companies are now paying claims on time. And now currently, a lot of insurance companies has improved. A lot of us, like my company, they pay claim within 2 weeks. So that is what NIIRA 2025 is bringing on board to the insuring public. Then it creates professional accountability and linkages. For instance, what we are doing today is a enlightenment program, and we are collaborating. While the law, the act permits that we should collaborate with every sector of the economy, and that is what we are doing today. Is one of the aim of the act, collaborating and being accountable to various sectors. Let the engineer know what you are doing, let the banker know what you are doing, let the accountant know what you are doing. It is not you alone. Your policy should be made simple for everybody to understand, and that is professional accountability and linkage, collaboration, and also creating awareness. Now, NIIRA 2025 and the engineering profession, we are now looking at it from direct angle, where the engineer, the NIIRA, the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act, how it affects the engineer. One of the key provision is mandatory insurance for large-scale projects. No engineer will be allowed to carry out large projects without insurance. Even smaller ones too, you must do insurance. 2, recognition of engineers as insured professionals, not just clients. All engineers, more especially those that will be going for contract, will be bidding for contract, and those that will be used as MDs of engineering companies, those that will be used for as managers, top executives of engineering companies, they will never be used except they have insurance on them. So that is one aspect too that we need to understand very well. Every engineer that is going to the capacity of MD of engineering company, every engineering company will have insurance on their key engineers, not just a claim, but they must be insured professionals. Then integration with public procurement guidelines. Before an engineer will get a contract, be it government, be it in the oil sector, be it otherwise, he must have insurance put in place that is required by the guideline. Then simplified claim verification using e-certificate. With NIIRA, engineers will have access to verify claims and also put their claims out and will be paid easily with NIIRA 2025. From next year, a lot of impact will be seen. Then impact, it improved project credibility, easier financing, and safer operation. Engineers will be operating safely, and financing of business and projects will be easier. Practical benefit for engineers. These are the ones I listed are what it will do. It will do. Now we have the practical benefits. Financial protection during project disruption. I think I mentioned earlier. I touched it a little. Then enhanced professional reputation. I think I also mentioned it earlier. As a professional, your reputation is protected. Then it gives you access to government-backed insurance incentives. With the law, there are a lot of incentives that are attached to it. Maybe with time, when we get to know about those things. There are a lot of incentives. If you are insured, you easily get contracts, and you earn discount for products that will even help in terms of savings, insurance that are used for saving. You earn discount and some other things. Then easier compliance with tender and contract requirements. Once you comply with insurance provision, you it is easier for you to tender for contract. And you know what it means when you don't comply, you don't have insurance backing for your tender and your bidding. Most contracts, they don't even consider such documents. They just throw it down because the requirements are not complete. But if it is complete, very easy for you to get the jobs. Then it reduces dispute with clients and subcontractors. That is to say, if there is a dispute, if there is an issue, the insurance take up the issue, not the engineer, the contractor with the client. It's the insurance company that will just step in and ensure there is no dispute. Now, what are the key points of the Act? The first key point is awareness and understanding of NIIRA provision. Engineers should try to be aware of it. Thank God for what we are doing today. I think this will create awareness to a level, then take up from there, get to know about NIIRA as regards to engineering, then go ahead to execute what you've heard, what you've learned from the system or from what we are doing. So execution is key. Number two, cost implication for small firm. Cost implication for small firm. Key point is, yes, it is costly. Insurance, most of us will say insurance is costly and it has some cost implication, but it's good. Then another key point for that, we are talking about challenge, yes. Another key point for challenge is delayed policy adoption by government and government contractors. Most contractors will not adopt it easily, and it will have an adverse effect. Yes. Then what are our expectations? What are we expecting? One is training and advocacy by ACIIN and Nigerian Society of Engineers. We expect that what we are doing now is part of it. We keep training ourselves, retraining ourselves to see how we can be at par with the Act to avoid certain issues that will come up as a result of non-compliance. Two, collaboration with NICOM. NICOM simply means Nigerian Insurance Commission. National Insurance Commission, that is the regulatory body of insurance business. Collaboration with them and the insurers, that is with the insurance companies. When you collaborate with us, we show you and direct you on the way you should go as an engineer. Then the way forward. The way forward. Engineers must learn the basics of risk management. Engineers should learn the basics of risk management. And one of the basics of risk management is through insurance. You transfer the risk. There are some you avoid. There are some you take up as a person. But the best is to take it out, transfer it, and be at peace. The function of insurance is be at peace, have rest of mind, peace of mind, you are secured. Your future is secured. So when you have the basis of risk management, which is to transfer the risk to insurance, you are at rest, you have peace of mind, and whatever you give to them is secured. So then the way forward, number two, is to demand proper insurance inclusion in contract. As an engineer, while you're running your contract, ensure that insurance is properly included in the contract that you are doing. Don't do contracts without insurance inclusion because it might have adverse effects. Then number two, engage with professional insurance for project-specific covers. The word is professional insurance. We have insurance and we have professional insurance. Ensure that the person you are engaging with is a professional insurer, because that person will give you project-specific cover, not cover that is not comprehensive to the project you are doing. So you take up a project, you engage with a professional insurer for project-specific covers. Remember this quote, very, very important. An insured engineer is an empowered engineer. Now, we have the compulsory insurances by the Act, and there are punishments for not complying with it. There are punishments either you pay fine, heavy fine, or imprisonment, or both combined. So let me run the compulsory insurances. We have number one, the building construction of 2 floors and above. Any contractor that is building a project or that is doing a project that is above 2 floors, before you start, you must take up a contractor's all risk insurance. It is called CAR, Contractors All Risk Insurance. Section 75 of the Act says any contractor, any person building a building that is above 2 floors and above must take it up. Failure to do that, you pay a fine of 1 million naira or 12 months imprisonment or both, as may be decided by the court. So it is important as engineer to take it up before you start a project. Number two, public building insurance. Public building insurance, section 75, states that every public building above 2 stories should maintain an insurance for the building against the occupant of the building and third party that will walk into the building. What are third parties? The third party was what do we understand by public building? It was defined in section 6 as any building that provides services to the public, such as schools, hospitals, business centers, any business centers, hostels, anywhere that business is being transacted, where money is transacted, is a public building. So you must get an insurance. If you don't have insurance for that, it's either you pay a fine at conviction of 2 million or 2 years imprisonment or both, as may be decided by the court. Then number 3, tenement houses of 2 floors and above. Building that is above 2 floors that is occupied by tenants must have a fire and occupiers liability insurance. Fire insurance covers for the tenant property and even rent. Tenant rent is covered on that policy, because if you are in that house and your rent is still due and anything happen, you will be indemnified and given a new place to stay. A new place to stay, and that staying will be the amount of period that is left in the old house that was burned down. That is what they will provide for you. Then your properties that are in the house will all be covered. Then the landlord is covered under fire. Now, if the house is burnt down by the occupiers, that is the tenant or whatever, he is covered because his property, he will be indemnified, his property will be replaced. And why are all these things necessary? You go back to the act. Previously, insurance companies have low capacity and they've not been paying claims as at when due compared to the Western world. So they look at it that all these things are necessary. So they included it in the act to make sure that the individuals are also protected. A lot of houses were burned down and nothing happened. Tenants we are just ejected like that and they go about suffering. So this act protects them. Now the next one is motor third party only insurance. For any vehicle to ply the Nigerian roads, it must have at least third party insurance. And how much is third party insurance? It's just 15,000 naira. Just 15,000 naira for third party insurance. And if it is not taken by the person is liable to pay 250,000 naira as fine or 12 months imprisonment. So it is important. Those insurance are compulsory. Then the healthcare professional indemnity, that is for hospitals and clinic against the doctor's negligence and the nurse's negligence that will cause issues to their patients, is covered. They are covered. Then filling station and gas station insurance. You agree with me that a lot of issues have been going on in Port Harcourt, has gone wrong in Port Harcourt. The latest one is the Airport Junction filling station fire incident. There was no fire. I think my church I'm privileged to serve. Salvation Ministry is just back of the filling station, and the fence at the children's section got burnt. And the gas station that caused the fire don't even have insurance. And the church just have to do their thing by themselves. Supposing the church is an individual and went through that process and maybe take the filling station to court, they will be held responsible and they will pay for damages for the other man. Insurance is basically to restore. Insurance company will come on to restore that damage and at the same time also restore the filling station, the gas station that was burnt. So government looked at it and said, no, we'll make it compulsory. Also, gas and petroleum trucks that carry goods along the road. We've been hearing truck falling and burning people up and down. And most of them don't have insurance. The government looked at it and said, no, all those ones will be insured. And while insurance is also very important for all those things, is that the insurance person will want to look at the nature of trucks you are using on the road. We'll go and investigate. We send our engineers to see what is happening. Those things are very, very important. Then the group life insurance. Group life insurance is for workers. Those employers that has more than 3 staff on their payroll, you must cover them against death while on the job, 24 hours, whether on the job or at home, because they are breadwinners to their various houses, various families. If anything happens, their family will lose something. So cover them. Let there be a group life for them. And it's for public sector also. Yes, even government sector, schools, individuals, hotels, school, hospital. Now we are pushing it to churches too. Pastors and church workers should have group life insurance because it is in the act. They must have it. So it's important. So the next one is import and export marine insurance. Any goods that is coming into Nigeria must have insurance with a local insurance company. So that is it. These are the 4 compulsory insurances. In addition to others, for instance, as an engineer, you need a life insurance for yourself and your family. That is not compulsory anyway. You need a life insurance for you and your family and your children, for your children. Your children, at the event of anything, they must be covered. Their education and their well-being should be paramount in your priorities. So you need to cover them. Then you have savings, personal savings. That one too is an insurance package. You save, we call it discipline savings. You can save for 2 years. Say, okay, I want 2 million within 2 years. I don't want to touch it. You can start saving small. They calculate it and you save small with interest. At the end of the 2 years, they pay you back. It's personal discipline savings. Is insurance policy too. Then so many life insurance policies that you need to take as an individual. Educational, endowment, keymen, all those things are life insurance policies, but they are not compulsory. It is optional, but they are good for you as an engineer. Finally, finally, I want to conclude with this. NIIRA 2025 marks a new era for engineering practice in Nigeria. Very, very true and correct. If you've gotten all this knowledge, you've gotten all these things that NIIRA is bringing to the table, you will agree with me that it is definitely and absolutely a new beginning for engineering practice in Nigeria. Insurance is not an afterthought. This thing that we've heard today has proved to us that insurance should never be an afterthought in our affair. It should be part of a responsible engineering. It should be part of responsible engineering because the risk in the engineering profession is huge. So you must take it up, cover it. Then together, engineers and insurance can build a safer and more resilient Nigeria. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think.
Wow, thank you so much, sir. That was a very, very, in fact, very expansive lecture from you. I would like us in the audience to show love to him. Use your emoji to express how happy you are for this lecture. Thank you so much, sir. In fact, we are trying to unpack everything you talked about in this seminar. We'll go straight to our question and answer session. I've not seen any emoji, no reaction from the crowd, from the audience. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So this expresses how much we learned in this lecture. Okay, so now it's time for our question and answer session. This is our question and answer session, and I'm sure we have a lot of questions. I personally have so many questions. I hope we can answer some of them. So okay, so if you have a question from the participants. Okay, meanwhile, let me go ahead and ask this question. Okay, sir, you mentioned that insurance is not a get-rich scheme. So how then do insurance companies make profits? That's one question. Should I go ahead with all the questions at once? Sir?
Go ahead.
Hello? Okay, because while you were explaining to us, you told us that one of the things insurance is not. So you said insurance is not a get-rich-quick scheme. So since it's not a get-rich scheme, that means, is it charity or something? Are the companies doing a charity event? So how do they make profit? I know definitely they are not doing charity. So I'm curious to know how they make profit. And then the second question says, can you insure a business or a project even before it begins? Like, maybe you want to start an initiative, an NGO, a business, you want to organize a program, and it has not yet held, or it has not yet been planned, but you want to insure it. Is that possible? That's the question. Then the third question says, what can an engineer do in the case of a fatal injury? For instance, there's a story about actually it's a true life experience by somebody I know. So he got blind. He's an engineer doing well in a company and eventually got blind. And currently he's out of job and nothing. He's helpless. So how can engineers insure themselves in the case of maybe a fatal injury, or in the case of, even if the injury is not directly caused by the company, but what it happened while they were working. Another example was an engineer too that lost his sense of smell. As we speak now, he cannot smell because of where he was working. So, and he just left the company. I don't think there was anything done to compensate him.
I think I will take the 3 questions now, then get ready for other ones. Let me take it deeper. So first is the insurance is not a get-rich scheme, a get-rich-quick mechanism. Yes, pay the loss. Pay the loss. Insurance is a pool of risk. Now, there is this Elizabethan principle that says the weight is heavier on few, but is lighter on many. That principle simply says the weight is lighter on many and is heavier on few. That is the principle insurance use. They pull the risk of so many people, millions of people, into one, we call it one purse or one pool. And when it is pulled together, it becomes mighty, bringing small tokens from so many people makes the pool mighty. And from that pool, the unfortunate one, let's assume we have 100 person in the pool. The insurance man calculates, or the actuary calculates, that from this pool, it is only 2 or 3 persons that will be unfortunate for the year. And that is the projection, and that is how it works. 2 persons being unfortunate, they pull that risk, pay for the person, whereas they make profit from it. That is the way insurance company make their profit, and they are ready to pay for any claim. Now, while they are paying premium is the amount paid for the risk. Now, why they are paying premium, insurance company don't keep the money idle. They invest it. They use it as a bond. They invest in so many legal ventures, even estates and buildings. Yeah, they buy buildings, just realtors, they invest on those things. Now, those investments give them profits and dividends, and they use it. They make so much money from it. So they pull the risk of many people and pay claim to the unfortunate few, while the other one, they invest and use it legally. That is how they operate. They are not for their Christmas. That's where they make the money, and that is how they pay their claim. Then the second question, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
Okay, the second one is, sorry, I think, can you insure a project without even starting it? If you have a blueprint of a project, is it a personal project, your own project? Is it a contract given to you? Those are the questions an insurance person will ask you. You want to insure a project you've not started. Is it a contract? Have you been given a contract? Or do you have something you've conceived in your mind that you want to do? If it is something you conceived in your mind that you want to do, it's not possible, because you will not lose financial, there will be no financial loss for you. You've not invested money on it. But if it is a contract already awarded to you, then you must insure yourself before you even start the project, because the contractor, your principal has already given their interest to you to carry out, and failure to do that will cause them financial loss. So we look at the value of the contract and quote the premium for you to pay, and it will be insured. But if it is within you that you've not started, but you want to start and you've not committed financially, then you cannot insure it. It is only when you've committed yourself financially. Maybe you've gotten cars, you've gotten personnel, and if anything happens, you pay salary to those personnel. You will lose your money that you've invested. That is where insurance will come in with a policy for you. Then the third question, fatal injury to engineers. The question I will ask, is the person working? Is he gainfully employed? If yes, he's gainfully employed, then there is this policy they call group life insurance. It's for every employer of labor. Now it is compulsory in Nigeria. If you don't have group life insurance, you pay 10 million as fine, and 3 times the salary of the staff that is injured, that does not have a cover. You pay 3 times his annual salary to him, and you also pay a fine of 10 million to government. So even there is any company that doesn't have a group life and the person is working, the person should try to see how he will bring to their notice the act, or if they are caught not having any insurance in place, they will be fined and they will be penalized. Very, very important. Even teachers too. Now, government sector is important. That if you federal government, they are doing group life now, I don't know about state. We are pushing that to the state. By next year, we're bringing it down. Even local government staff, they must get group life for that. And group life covers for this kind of thing. If it is a temporal disability, it has its value. Total disability has its value, and death has its value. So that is it.
Oh, thank you, sir. Someone was lifting up her hand, but before she goes ahead, Engineer, God bless. There is a chat in the messages to fill your attendance. So just click on the survey and ensure you fill your attendance. So please, Engineer, God bless. Can you unmute your mic and ask a question?
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, moderator. Okay. The question I have is you talked about a third-party insurance for vehicles. Now, I want to find out what's the importance of that third-party insurance, because almost like is it every year? I can't remember. But we do this third-party insurance, and I've been wondering, why am I doing third-party insurance? Of what import is it to me? You know. Then secondly, the second question I have is, if an individual or a company has an insurance policy with you, and maybe the company or the business is going down for whatever reason, does the insurance company come in to help, resuscitate the business, or help the business to stand without falling or without going bankrupt? Just those two questions.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Now, the first question is third-party insurance. One of the greatest problems of Nigeria is ignorance. That is our greatest problem. Now, the third-party insurance is meant to cover the vehicle against any damage it causes on the road against a third party, not the vehicle cover. The vehicle does not have a cover, but they cover you against any property you damage on the road while using the vehicle. That is what is covered. Now, many people, you see them quarreling on the road because of accident. If you have a genuine third party, you don't even need to quarrel. It is to refer him to your insurance company. Now, I'm sounding it as a debt, or let me say, I'm sounding it as I'm opening it up that if you have a vehicle and you do a third party, I'm not praying for any claim. But if you have an accident on the road, we are not praying for accident, but if you have an accident on the road and your third party is genuine, hit me up. I will make sure the third party person that suffers the loss will be compensated on the road. He will be compensated, a car will be fixed. And you have a limit to damage your property, 3 million. A whooping 3 million for 15,000 naira you pay. You pay 15,000 naira, you are covered to the value of 3 million. Maybe 50,000, maybe 100,000, but limit of 3 million. And a lot of people will just look at it as nothing, as just a paper for police. No, it's not a paper for police. It covers your vehicle against any damage on the road. That is it. Then if a third party hits you or damage your property, you are also covered by his own third party. That is it. Then now, that is for property damage. And it has unlimited limit for accident to a person, injury to a person is unlimited. Death, if the vehicle causes death to a third party, is unlimited. But nobody is talking about it because they don't know. Now I'm challenging every one of us that if you have a third party, in fact, first of all, get a genuine third party. Get a genuine third party from a genuine insurance company. Then know that you are protected, your vehicle is protected. We are not praying for accident, but it's protected. Then secondly, business downturn. If you are running a business and your business is going down, you have insurance and your business is going down. What is the cause of the business going down? Is it armed robbers coming to steal your property? If it is yes, their business is covered with what they call theft insurance. If you have a theft insurance, burglary insurance is covered. The insurance company can come to your rescue. If it is not that, and it's just going down like that without remarkable accident or effect or activity, there is no insurance for that. There is no insurance for that, because the business owner might decide to be eating his money, and at the end of the day will tell us that my business is going down, come and pay claim. No, they will not. But if you have a fire and burglary, if it is caused by fire, insurance company will pay. If it is caused by burglary, theft, insurance company will pay. If it is caused by maybe you are a girl, or you are taking money to the bank, or you kept money in the office and it was stolen, there is what we call money insurance, fidelity guarantee and money insurance. That one will come up and pay. But apart from that, and there is no reasonable or noticeable activity that caused the downturn, insurance company will not pay, because they are not it is not covered.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pastor Harry. Before we go ahead, I'll just recognize the presence of our IPC.
Please, can you speak out? I'm not hearing you clearly.
Can you hear me? Okay, I said thank you, Pastor, sir. Thank you for that question, Engineer. God bless. We have one more question, but before then, I'll just recognize the presence of our IPC engineer, NIIRA Harry. You're welcome, ma. So we have Chuku Morin, please. Can you unmute your mic and ask a question? Okay.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, all. Please, I have two questions. The first one, I want to know, peradventure someone pays the insurance company and insures maybe a vehicle, a property, or maybe even a contract, and throughout the lifespan of the vehicle, the contractor, there was no need for insurance company to come in. Do you get back your money, or what happens when there's no need for insurance company to come in, like throughout the lifespan of whatever you have insured? And my second question is, you said something about 15,000 naira. Can we also get if possible, the prices of other insurance, maybe as a civil engineer working under a company, if we can get maybe the prices of other insurance that you've spoken about today, please?
Okay, thank you for the question. Now, the first question is, can you get back your money if nothing happened? Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, no, you cannot get back your money. You know, I explained earlier that insurance is a pool of risk. The people, that is many people, premium is being gathered, not much. The premium is not always much, but it's being gathered into a pool. And out of the pool, the unfortunate ones are being paid for. Those that suffer losses, their claims are being paid. So you can imagine that you pay a 5,000 naira for a premium and you suffer a loss of 500,000. Your claim is paid from that pool. So there is no way those ones that are not fortunate, we cannot identify them at the beginning of the contract. And at the end of the contract, it is their money, the pool, from the pool, payment is being made to the unfortunate ones. So now giving back the monies of those persons that contributed to the pool is not visible again. Because from that pool, people receive, definitely before the end of the year, the contract, somebody must receive claim. And it will be pooled, the resources pulled together, they use in settling the claim. So there is no way they will pay back those that does not have claims, except savings, disciplined savings that you make, and at the end of the year, at the end of the period, you get back your money. Those ones, they call it disciplined savings, where you cannot touch. Those ones, they give you back your money. But on properties, fire and burglary, motor insurance, marine insurance, aviation, no, you cannot get it back. Then the second question is prices of insurance, right? Yes. Prices of insurance. The only price that is fixed is motor third-party insurance, which is 15,000. That one is fixed. because it's regulated by government. Government has said it that this is what we want. The least motor insurance is 15,000. They regulate it. It's tariff. They call it the tariff price. While other insurance company is subject to the person insuring it. You can come up with the price of your shop, and we will decide the premium based on rating. We have rates. Like for fire, and fire is 0.3. The least fire for business is 0.3 of the value of the business. For bond, we have some bond 1%. We have some bonds 0.5%. For marine insurance for vessel, some we have 0.1, sorry, 1%, sorry, not 0.1, 1%, and some 1.15, depending on the age of the vessel. For motor insurance, apart from third-party motor insurance that is comprehensive. Comprehensive is 5% of the value. That is not third-party, it's comprehensive. It covers both the vehicle, the owner, and third-party together against accident, fire, theft, whatever that happens to the vehicle, and the third party outside is covered. So that one is 5% of the value. So all insurances has their own ratings based on the value of the property you want to insure. You understand?
Thank you so much, sir. I believe that has answered my question.
Good evening to our facilitator. Can you hear me?
Very clear.
Hello. Okay, I said I'm greeting the facilitator. Thank you so much for. Okay, thank you so much for tailoring your presentation to. I first saw this topic, I was like, what's the business between insurance and engineering? But you were able to break the whole thing down, and it was so real to us that we as engineers, we truly need this insurance in different and even to others around us. So I want to say thank you so much for your presentation. It was a nice one, and I really benefited because I didn't really log in on time. So I don't know whether you talked about children education insurance. Do you have something like that? That's one.
Yes,
and two, where
yes.
is your office and how can the one go about it? Okay, so how can someone go about it? What's from your end, what's the benefit? How can we start and how
For
can we
children
go
education,
around it?
for children education, let me just run it down for you.
Yes.
Now, I will use an illustration. In the West, you will see a man that is average, not working in a rich company. But at the end of the year or at a particular time, he will send his children abroad to go and study. No scholarship, nothing. You begin to question how this man how is he making his money to send his children all to abroad? A lot of them has prepared on time. As they give birth to their children, they take up the educational fund, educational insurance. That insurance runs for like 15, 16 years. Now, when they take up the insurance and it matures at some target to university time, where when the child will get to university, it will mature that period, and immediately they send the child abroad to school. Now that policy covers the child educational, maybe 4 years education, 6 years education, depending on what the person tailored. I think I need this policy. I need to see the person one-on-one that wants it to discuss in detail what is covered, how it covers it, and what is payable. But it depends on the age of the child, the age of the child, the age of the parents, and the period the person is taking. We have a mortality table, actuary table that we use in calculating the premium. Yes, because some will say I want 50 million for my child at that age, and I am so years. My child is so age. So we look at the mortality table and check the rate for it, then calculate the premium. That is not what we do just like that, but it is very good for those policies to be taken for our children because it's covered them for their education, whether the parent is alive or they are no more, or the child is no more, whether whatever is still there for you. One aspect of it is if the child, God forbid, is no more, it can be he or she can be replaced with another child. If the parent is no more, it's express, the child gets the benefit when he gets to the year. Even if it's just 1 month, the parent pay for it, and he said he wants 50 million at the time when the child will be 15 years, and he just paid for 1 month only. That amount, 1 month, which is very, very small, that money will be building for him. When the child gets to that age, 18, the 50 million will be paid depending on what the father decide before he signs the contract. It will be paid to the child. Some decided that it should be paid 5 years for his tuition, for school fees, whatever you sign. That is what the insurance company will do. But one thing in Nigeria that makes it very difficult is because some parents will get those cover and they will not even tell their children, they will not send their document to their lawyers, and at the event of something happening, the child will not even know. It will just be lying low there. So a lot of things happen. We have a lot of things, a lot of issues that we are dealing with. So that is just one disadvantage of that policy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I saw
All right.
Mr. Harry.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much to the facilitator. So I would like to get your contact at the end because you said the person that wants this package would like to meet the person and not more. But for now, thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Jerry Ojo, did you have a question? And then our chairman also said she has a question.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Facilitator Pastor Harry, thank you very much. Yeah, a friend of mine sent me the link. They're talking about the insurance because I play in the fintech sector. I'm currently based in the UK, but I work for the central bank for many years before I left. So I was just trying to echo most of the things that I was talking about the car insurance because of the ignorance in Nigerian, in the country. Here, it does not happen that way. A 70-year-old woman hit my car last year, and I claim insurance, third-party insurance. And the insurance company of the woman, they paid for my car repair, and they classify my car as even category S, meaning that it has, a repair done on it. So if I want to resell it, it will reduce the price. So, and I got full compensation for that, for that car, for repair. I even kept the car because it's just a little a bump, you understand? So I still use the car. They pay me for the car, and that was one of the benefits. And when you're talking about life insurance also, there's a lot of risk, in Nigeria. So I was just trying to echo whatever. Thank you for the for the knowledge sharing. Though I'm not an engineer in the with you guys, but you guys, I think it's a very wonderful section that you had. Please don't joke with insurance. Yeah, I've asked for the contact of the facilitator. Yeah, if you can avail me, because I will be coming back to Nigeria. I have some things around insurance to do, just to have a section with him. Yeah, if that is okay. Thank you.
No problem, you get it.
All right.
I think from the flyer, my number is there, and if you can contact me with the number or the number of the chairman of the group, she can give you my full detail, my full contact.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Chairman, please.
Okay, mine it's like we're all having two questions. So first of all, sir, you said it is how did you even put it? Like engineers will not be looked at as clients, they will be looked at as insured professionals. Can you explain a bit more what that means? Is it that by the type of insurance that needs to be covered on them, or what does it mean by insured professionals and not clients? Then again, the other one you kept hammering on is that if we have professional insurers, so how does one identify who is a professional insurer? And then the third one is a comment in the course of explaining for instance, the trucks. petrol trucks, you said you send your engineers to assess the trucks, which means you work with engineers. So I just want to add that in your selection, you should also give female engineering companies some preference. So that's not
Please
a
take the last question again. I didn't get it clear.
The last one is not a question, just to say that when you are hiring engineers to do your inspections for you, being that we are up when we are just lending our voice to say that you should also consider female engineers in such hire, as it were.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, insured professionals. We should not see engineers as clients, but insured professionals. Engineers are professionals already. So most of our people will call them clients, but engineers are insured professionals because for now, currently, outside the country, for an engineer to be called engineer, it must, in Nigeria now, for an engineer to be called engineer, it must be a member of NSE, right? Now, before you get this NSE certificate, you must be insured. You must have an insurance in place. So you are not an ordinary engineering professional, but you are already insured. You are an insured professional. You are not an ordinary client. For instance, I am a chartered insurer and I work for my company. I have a group life. My company already has a group life on my head and a professional indemnity as a professional. If there is any negligence part, I am covered by my company's insurance policy. So for an engineer, you have this insurance cover on you called professional indemnity. So you are not an ordinary client again. You are an insured professional. That is the language. Then the other aspect, the other question. I didn't get the other question very well.
Is how do
Please
we
take the second
identify
question.
a professional insurer?
A professional, good,
Yes.
thank you. I remember now. Now, just as I said earlier, you are a professional, you have NSE certificate as a qualified engineer. We will not call you engineer graduate. We will not call you, we already know that you are a certified engineer. The doctor without what is this doctor this thing medical doctor certificate, we don't call them doctors. Yeah, we call them either those that are under training. Now, it also is applicable to the insurance industry. We have professional insurance. I am a professional. Virtue of my ACII. I'm a chartered insurer of Nigeria, so I'm a professional. So we have them a lot. Though the growing ones too, they can give you advice that is good. But as a professional engineer that is having a very, maybe a huge project or a project that goes into run into a million, you don't risk your project with a learner. You look for a professional and you identify a professional by virtue of him being a chartered insurer or attached to a chartered firm. That is how you identify a professional.
Thank you very much. That's clear.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. There are so many questions, but I don't know if we still have much time. So at this point, I'll hand over the floor to the chairman to do the presentation of certificates by our presenter.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator. And I can't thank our facilitator enough. I think that we will all agree that we are living here better informed. Most of our questions is like the presentation already shut them down. Like he kept saying that the reason insurance companies were not providing premium was that they did not have capacity. Because I know that the problem we had or we have But just that now, I haven't heard from him. We are believing him that it is going to be better, is that insurance companies were not paying. So it was like they were not doing what they promised. So we are living here better informed, and the insurance will now start to see a lot of us after this lecture. So those of us that are here, please also share the information to our colleagues that couldn't make it. So at this point, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very, very grateful. This is one of my greatest desires in life, that I will be giving customers and clients awareness and also create the customer delight. That is my wish. One, giving them awareness and creating their delight in consumption of insurance products. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, so as a token of our appreciation, we want to give you these certificates for being our public lecturer today, 15th November 2025, giving us the talk on insurance and the engineer NIIRA 2025 perspective. Please, let's applaud him as we virtually hand it over to him. Let the emojis fly.
Thank you.
Okay, Ma, over to you, moderator.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our chairman. Thank you very much to our guest lecturer, Pastor Harry. So at this point, we're going to take a group photograph. So I would urge and implore all of us to switch on our videos so that we can take a quick photograph of everyone. So just turn on your camera.
Are you sure? I don't have light to take it back. What did I
And make sure you have a lovely smile.
Wait. Everybody should get me. Excuse me.
Okay.
What's wrong with the laptop?
Let's take a second photograph.
Okay.
Okay, take it. Take it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. I want to say thank you to our guest lecturer, Pastor Harry Busunute, for this impactful lecture. I also want to say thank you to every single person that attended this guest lecture. I want to say thank you to our esteemed engineers. There are so many here. Engineer Ereware, Engineer Dr. Ereware, Engineer Hilda Batubo, Engineer Precious Dan Harold, Engineer Nelly Davis, and so many, even those that are not, those that came from outside the branch, from other institutions. We want to say a big thank you for honoring this event. And God bless you. And may you make sure that you are a professional insurer or professionally insured. Thank you so much. So we'll do our closing prayer, which is the third stanza of the national anthem. I will share my screen now so that we can all say this prayer together. Okay, let's go. Once already go.
Oh God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty Nigeria
Nigeria
may be
may
blessed.
be blessed.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you guys for anchoring.